Hello, this is Janet Michael. In addition to hosting The Valley Today each weekday at noon on the River 95.3, I also produce podcasts, and I'm excited to introduce you to a new podcast series in partnership with Lord Fairfax Community College. Having provided higher education and career training for the past half-century, LFCC is tightly interwoven into the fabric of the Northern Shenandoah Valley and Piedmont regions. Join me every week for conversations with current and former students to hear their funny and inspiring stories as we learn about their journey to higher education, the role that LFCC has played, where they are now, and where they plan to go. We'll also talk to current and former professors about their experiences and best memories of LFCC over the past 50 years. Get every single episode as they're released on our website at theriver953.com under the podcast tab, or you can subscribe for free in Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, on Spotify, Amazon Music, wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search for LFCC Stories. Hello and welcome to The Valley Today. I am your host, Janet Michael. Happy Friday as you are listening to the show today. Congrats on making it through another week. It is a busy weekend ahead. A lot of things are going on, but I'm going to start with, it's United Way Day. It is the fourth Friday of the month. That means that it is always United Way Day. I am pre-recording today with Elise from United Way of Northern Shenandoah Valley. We're going to chat in a few minutes with Lori Noakes. She is the executive director at Blue Ridge Housing Network. But before we get to that, Elise, there's a lot going on this weekend. We're going to talk about the Rubbermaid Sale when we wrap up at the end of today's show. But right now, this very second, as people are listening to the show, Project Connect is happening.
That is correct. United Way's second annual Project Connect is happening today, Friday, the 25th of June, at Virginia Avenue, Charlotte DeHart Elementary in Winchester.
And it is going on until 2 o'clock today. So it's been going on for several hours as people are listening to us, but there's still enough time to get there. What can people find when they get to Project Connect?
So we can find so many things at this one day. Basically, we're bringing all of our partners together under one roof to help clients with whatever needs they may have. So anything from food instability, housing related issues, to childcare issues, to you name it. DMV is going to be here. Like we're so excited about it.
And it's going to be an opportunity for people that they rarely get to show up in one place and walk around for as long as it takes them, or at least until 2 o'clock, and be able to get everything they need in one stop.
That's exactly right. And that's what it's all about, is because we hear so many stories of people who have to take days off of work just to try to find help, which just doesn't make sense to us. You know, to be able to access some of these services, they're only open limited hours. And for people that work, it can be a real roadblock. And so we're just doing everything we can to remove roadblocks and to bring everyone together to fast track getting help and to really remove any blockers that people are seeing as they're trying to improve their lives.
So today until 2 p.m. at Virginia Avenue, Charlotte DeHart Elementary School in Winchester. If you're listening and you can still make it, get in the car and head that way.
That's exactly right. Come on out. We will be here till 2 o'clock. I think the last registration will be taken at 1:45. So don't wait long. So come on up right away, and we'll have a lot of giveaways to give out, boxes of food, clothing, you name it, so that everybody is taken care of.
Lori, Elise mentioned housing insecurities. I see a lot of stuff, not just even on a national level, but on a local and a regional level about housing insecurity and issues with people, especially post-COVID, being evicted. Tell me a little bit about what Blue Ridge Housing Network does and the impact you have on that particular issue.
Well, the biggest thing is, a lot of people have been unemployed since last March, and some people are still unemployed or underemployed. There's been a wonderful Virginia program where they're helping people with rent. Plus, United Way was administering CARES Act for the city of Winchester and Frederick County, which we helped distribute that. But the biggest thing is what people are facing if they've been evicted. A lot of landlords aren't renting right now. They just said until COVID's over, they're not going to rent. So there's a lot of empty units, and these people have nowhere to go. So the homelessness has increased.
How would somebody reach out to you if they're in a situation now where they are facing eviction, or also hearing a lot of landlords are deciding to get out of the rental business and they're putting their properties up for sale, which then a lot of times dislocates the people that have been renting from them and living there? How do people reach out to you, and what kinds of issues do they come to you with?
Well, our biggest program is people that cannot pay their current month's rent. Something has happened. Maybe they got shorted hours at work or they had to fix their car. This program is kind of divided up within the Northern Shenandoah Valley. There are 4 nonprofits that handle different service areas, but we can always direct them to the appropriate person or appropriate organization.
And what geography do you cover with Blue Ridge Housing Network?
Well, for our counseling and down payment assistance, we actually handle the whole Northern Shenandoah Valley. For tenant-based rental assistance, our main focus is Warren County, but we will also take people from Frederick and Winchester.
Elise and I talk a lot about sometimes people come to United Way or Valley Assistance Network with the issue that is right in front of them at the moment. And then once you start taking a deeper dive, you see these other things that maybe if you could relieve them of those issues would make that front and center issue not be so bad. I'm guessing housing is probably one of those front and center issues.
Yes, we get many referrals from Valley Assistance.
Yep, and our Valley Assistance Network, which is a part of us at United Way, is our outreach center, really is taking dozens of calls every day. It's really remarkable that every single day we're getting these phone calls from people that are usually looking for something. Even just earlier, somebody called asking for help with their water bill. But when you dig a little deeper, we were listening to them and they're talking about all these other expenses they have and all these other issues that are blocking them. So it's not just their water bill. There's a lot of other factors that are coming together to create this hardship for this person. And so it is something we see all the time at United Way and our Valley Assistance Network.
Lori, you mentioned counseling programs. Tell me a little bit about those.
So we do pre-purchase counseling. So that's a great program for people that are thinking about buying their first home, because a lot of people just don't know where to start. And a lot of people don't know credit guidelines or how much they need to actually put into a purchase. And then we do rental assistance counseling. And, that could be just figuring out exactly what you truly can afford. We do a monthly budget with them. We give them the resources like local landlords, and then also how to supplement things like food pantries and, programs through social services.
Elise, you guys recently did the housing summit that I know Blue Ridge Housing Network was a part of. You had a pretty good turnout for that, with a lot of agencies and a lot of people wanting to understand this issue in more detail.
Yes, we absolutely did. And we really have an incredible community that comes around these issues because it's a really tough one to tackle. And Laura, you could probably speak more about this, some of the challenges we're facing as a community and as a whole, but it's a tough nut to crack for sure. And we always are looking for dialogues and ways to discuss it and figure out what's really going on and what we can do to help.
Yeah, I agree. The biggest thing is we just do not have enough housing stock in this area. We have so many people that have to live in hotels. I mean, I helped someone get into their place and they've been in a hotel for 5 years.
Wow.
And they make good money. It was just once you get put in a hotel, you're constantly paying so much out every month. You don't have the opportunity to save up a first month's rent and deposit. So just helping someone with a security deposit. And this couple had no issue affording a place to get in. It was just actually saving because of putting out so much money each month. Because then you're spending more on eating out too when you're living in a hotel.
Mm-hmm. Hotels cost
Yes.
a lot more. Even the cheapest of the cheap hotels still end up costing more than renting or owning, for that matter. Gosh, owning is so much, once you're in, it's less than renting, but still it's such a markup to be able to get to that point. And if you have something happen, something like a car breaking down, but you can't make your rent anymore, you're faced with the situation of having to choose. Sometimes people are living in their cars, which is almost sometimes more affordable than being in a hotel, but you don't want to live in your car, of course. But these are decisions we see people making all the time, because really once you're in the hotel, that savings is really hard to come by. And hundreds and hundreds a week and spending way more than you would ever in a, to live in another way, to live in a house, to live in a rented apartment, anything.
I would imagine your numbers probably went through the roof, Lori, with requests and outreach from the community during the pandemic.
Yes, definitely. I mean, we were just overwhelmed. Just even a lot of it was just referrals, where to go to, who to call. And if they've qualified for our program, then we would help them. But yes, it was a lot.
You were telling me before we started recording about a new program that you have. It's a credit improvement focus group. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, Lori, will you give me the details for what that is and how it works?
I sure will.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to continue our conversation. We are pre-recording for United Way Day with Elise from United Way of Northern Shenandoah Valley. Joining her on the screen is Lori Noakes. She is the executive director at the Blue Ridge Housing Network. We're going to talk more with them when we come back in just a couple of minutes.
Got a financial decision to make or a goal to reach, but you don't know where to start? You've come to the right place. Introducing Quick Money Chats with the Northern Shenandoah Valley Financial Education Program. Visit tinyurl.com/quickmoneychat to schedule a virtual chat with a staff member or trained volunteer. We won't tell you what to do, but we will give you the tools you need to choose wisely. And because Virginia Cooperative Extension is part of Virginia Tech and Virginia State, your land-grant universities, you can be sure that our information is credible and trustworthy. And you'll know that we aren't trying to sell you something. Maybe you want to improve your credit score, or reduce your banking overdraft fees, or even figure out if you can afford to buy that car. Sorting through tons of information on the internet can be overwhelming, and sometimes it can be hard to know who to trust. Schedule a quick money chat and get the information you need to take action. Go to tinyurl.com/quickmoneychat and get financial education personalized for you.
Welcome back to the Valley today. I am your host, Janet Michael. Happy Friday. As you are listening to the show today, we, of course, have pre-recorded our conversation with Elise from United Way of Northern Shenandoah Valley. It is United Way Day. Lori Noakes is on the screen with us as well. She is the executive director at the Blue Ridge Housing Network. And Lori, we talked right before we went to break. You were telling me about a new program before we started recording that I think is an amazing program. It's a credit improvement focus group. Tell me more details about that.
Okay. Well, all of our clients that we work with are at or below 80% of the area median income. So this program will still go by those guidelines, but we're looking for first-time home buyers that thought maybe they would never be able to buy a home because they have no savings. They might have collections or judgments. Well, this program, if you're willing to do the work, we're here to help you. We have actually received a grant through Virginia Housing to help up to 8 individuals or families pay off up to $2,000 of their collections or judgments that you may have. But in order to get this, they do have to attend 3 sessions of one-on-one counseling. They have to attend 10 classes. It's called Money Smart, and we will meet the second Tuesday of each month for 10 months, and the classes are 2 hours each session. And then the third part of the program is we have received VITA, and this is through the Virginia Department of Housing and Community Development and Social Services. Every dollar they save will be matched by 8. So, yes, it's incredible. So they have to save at least $25 a month. If they save $500, they're going to get $4,000. Now, this money does have to be put towards purchasing a house, so it can help them, buy more house. And they'll still qualify for our down payment and closing cost assistance grant, which can be up to $15,000. And that'll help them pay their closing costs, and the rest can go to down payment or purchase more of a house. And we also have 2 fantastic mortgage programs through Virginia Housing. Our clients receive a 1% off their published interest rate. So if, let's say, Virginia Housing's published interest rate's 3%, our clients will get 2%. Yeah, pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
And then we also package USDA 502 direct loans, and those interest rates can be subsidized down to 1%, and they're 33 or 38-year loans. So, typically if you go to a conventional lender, you qualify for about 150. With this program, you can qualify for well over 200,000.
And this program you mentioned is going to specifically help 8 people, but more than 8 people can actually sign up for it, because there may be people that may, and I don't want to say don't need help paying off their debt, but maybe their debt isn't as big or is way
Exactly.
overwhelming, and they just need to learn the skills as importantly as they need to pay off that actual debt.
Yes, the Money Smart class is for anyone, any income level. If you want to learn how to, better manage your money, pay off things, and learn more about credit, it's for anyone. And yes, I definitely need more than 8 people, because maybe someone will drop off, or maybe someone only needs $300 paid off of their debt. So maybe I will be able to help more. You just don't know. But right now I'm saying 8, but no, more the merrier.
I spoke with someone a few weeks ago in Luray for the Valley Business Today. It was the Page County Economic Development, and they had a grant, and they thought that they were only going to be able to help 120 businesses because they had this X amount of dollars. But what they found was not every business needed the max amount that they were
Right.
offering for each grant. So they were at 146 businesses that they had helped and still had money left. So it's a great way of saying, hey, don't disqualify yourself. Reach out. How would they do that? Do they call you? Is there a form? Is it your website? How do they sign up for this program?
They can give us a call at 540-622-2711. And if they do want to know our website, it is blueridgehousingnetwork.org.
And is there any fee? I mean, these programs
Oh,
are
no,
operated at no charge.
no charge. Everything's free. We're funded by HUD and Virginia Housing. That's how we're able to do this. We're actually a HUD approved counseling agency.
And I would think the counseling end of that is hugely helpful, especially now, because you may have a situation that caused you to be in debt and now you're trying to catch back up. But if you never really had that foundation skill level of how to manage and how to save and what to pay off first and the ups and the downs of credit cards, it really is even more difficult to stay above water if you manage to get your head there.
Exactly. I mean, the counseling, because people, they might say, oh, I'm just going to pay off these 2 and I only have this. But one of the ones they left might have a 60% of their credit limit balance. No, really, they should have worked on that one. And, to tell them which collections would be best to pay off. I mean, that's how we're able to, we guide people just with, the knowledge we have. And we're just here to assist them.
Now, is Blue Ridge Housing Network set up at Project Connect today?
We sure are.
Awesome. Well, hey, Lori, for those of us that are out there listening, do you have any tips or any things that you would recommend for people who do have debt and how to get their debt down, or for people who are looking to get into housing but are struggling right now? Is there anything you would like to say or any words of wisdom you might have?
One thing I'd love to say, a lot of people don't know, when you get a credit card, and let's say the credit limit is $2,000, never go over 50% of the credit limit. So never spend more than $1,000. Once you hit that 50% credit limit, your credit score just goes down, down, down. And if you max it out, I guarantee your credit score is going to go down by 70 points. And a lot of people don't know that. So I think that's a great tip.
Holy moly, that's scary.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Twice about spending money on a vacation someday that, worried it's going to hit my card wrong.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And another thing about credit, to have the perfect credit score, your balance should be around 33 to 40% of your credit limit.
And I think that's a big misconception. People think to have perfect credit, you need to pay everything off every single time, but that doesn't really show a credit paying history. It's
Well,
kind of a conundrum, I would guess.
yeah, I mean, it does help. And I'm not saying, oh, you need to keep a balance, but if you need to work on your credits, that's a good guideline. And, when it comes to housing, people do not realize how important credit is. and not having evictions. Because I'm going to tell you, right now, it's so hard to find an apartment. Let's say an apartment has 10 applications. Guess who they're going to pick? The one that has the best credit. And these days, also, your car insurance, they pull your credit.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have bad credit, you're going to pay more on your car insurance. So credit is a big factor in life. It's so important.
Last Friday, my conversation was with Karen Poff with the Extension
yes.
Office, and she runs the Northern Shenandoah Valley Financial Education Program. And we've decided that I think we picked a date last Friday, but I can't remember what it is. We're doing a whole show on credit in July because there are so many things that people don't understand and a lot that they have control over that they can fix and they can improve on their own so that these things like buying a house suddenly become real and attainable goals.
Yes, and Karen is wonderful. I mean, we've done classes together. She is great.
So, Elise, we've got to wrap up. Project Connect happening right now, Virginia Avenue, Charlotte DeHart until 2 p.m. Is there a Rubbermaid sale tomorrow? I really, really, really need trash cans, and I'm not kidding this time.
You betcha. We will see you tomorrow morning at the Belk parking lot at the mall in Winchester. We will open up right at 8 a.m. until noon, and you can come on out and shop and get some great deals on donated Rubbermaid product. And all of your sales and anything you buy from us goes right back to local charity. And this time you're going to go help Goodwill and also the Substance Abuse Coalition. And
Oh,
so
two
come
great
on
ones.
out, a twofer, and help us out and help us raise some money, but also get a great deal on some wonderful Rubbermaid product.
Okay, you didn't use your normal phrase of pennies on the dollar.
Oh gosh, it is that pennies on the dollar. You cannot get a better deal online anywhere. And then you also know that you're helping local charities. So come on out for no other reason besides being a good person.
And details for that are on the United Way Northern Shenandoah Valley's Facebook page as well, right?
Absolutely. So the fastest way to find information is just to Google United Way Winchester. And if you look at our Facebook, you'll see information on our events and our upcoming Rubbermaid sales. Always check that if there's a question about the weather, because usually we try to make it happen, but you never know. Sometimes the universe doesn't align for us, but please always check the Facebook event for United Way of Northern Shenandoah Valley for more information first.
And Lori, does the Blue Ridge Housing Network have social media? Are you guys on?
We are on Facebook. I am not very proactive about it, but I try.
And can you tell me your website one more time?
BlueRidgeHousingNetwork.org.
See, that's easy. That in and of itself makes it a whole lot easier.
Yes.
Well, thank you, ladies. I appreciate you coming to chat with me on the screen for a little bit today. This has been a very informative conversation.
Thank you for having us.
Get out, have a great weekend, go to the Rubbermaid sale. This weekend is also the Shenandoah County Garden Tour. If you missed that show earlier this month, Master Gardeners of the Northern Shenandoah Valley are doing a garden tour around Shenandoah County. You can go see a bunch of really cool gardens in Edinburgh and in Woodstock all over the place. So get out. That's where I'm going to be. You're going to find me wandering around gardens, taking pictures, thinking, ooh, my husband needs to put this in my garden. So look for me there. I will be back on Monday. I will have a brand new episode of The Valley Today ready to go for you just a few minutes after noon. So meet me here then.